What's going on, guys? It's Walter from DeFi Media, and we're here with Ziggy. And he has told me that he has just recently launched an amazing project on Solana. But have you guys been seeing what's going on now that recently we just got the okay from the SEC as Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum are now commodities. And now we're seeing that real tokenization is happening with RWA. And Ziggy has an amazing project and, a vision that he wants to impel. But thank you for coming out.
Thank you
Appreciate
for
you.
having me, brother.
Yeah, man. Well, what would you say is like the ooh raw moment or big moment where you said, I gotta get into crypto?
I mean, this was like 2 years ago. I was like, I got to get into crypto. But 2 years ago, I was super duper broke and like I couldn't even feed myself. I was like rationing oatmeal throughout the day and drinking coffee so I wouldn't get hungry. I'm trying to build a music
Fasting.
career, fasting, yeah. And so I just figured I would just do this thing. Actually, before that, I was thinking about crypto because I saw where it was going. But the big push for me was when my friends just kept telling me, "Hey, dude, like telling you, like you need to tokenize yourself, tokenize yourself, tokenize yourself." It'll be, and I'm just like, dude, I don't know anything about that, so I'm not gonna get into it. And as God would have it, He just put me with the right people that I actually trust, and I'm like, okay, I know you know what you're talking about because your results. So I'm just listen to you and let you guys do it. So they helped me create my tokenomics, and they care about my career, so they're not, so they, helped me with the tokenomics, et cetera, explain it to me, and I learned a lot. And then we just jumped into it, and so then we just started really getting into it, about a month ago. So
Okay.
now we're really in it.
No, that's what it's about. It's just starting. And I love an underdog story. And
And
like,
again, for us, yeah, and I've definitely been the underdog many times. But again, for us, it's I wouldn't say I'm in the Web3 business. I wouldn't even say I'm in the music business. I'm in the empire building business. And you have to have long-term vision for that. And I think Web3, all of Web3, can be, if wielded right, an amazing tool to build an empire. And that's how we're using it. And that's what we're doing. So
I love
if
it,
you want to
man.
join us on this journey, buy Ziggy Coin, join the community, and let's get to know each other.
Yeah.
Ziggy Coin was started on the back of community, on the backbone of community. So a good friend of mine. So for those of you that don't know, I got my start in my career just doing live shows. I wanted to be like James Brown and like Elvis. I didn't put any music out. Everyone called me crazy. I prayed to God, and He told me to use the gifts that He gave me. I know how to perform, so I used that, and we surpassed a lot of the competition. And I've been co-signed with Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent. I did a show. Now we're headlining a festival in the Cayman Islands with Robin Thicke and Ti coming up on April 25th. And it's been a dream and a movie. And I was homeless 2 years ago, and I actually moved here to Miami. I moved to Miami 3 years ago, and I was couch surfing for a whole year, doing my live shows, and then now we're here. And Ziggy Coin was created to empower the community behind us, people that can't make it to a show or haven't made it to a show, and people that come to shows, etc. And it allowed us to be able to share our success and share everything that we're doing with the community. So it makes our community stronger because it's an ecosystem. When I make money, they make money. It's not just about the token rising up in the charts. That's also a thing, but it's about creating an ecosystem in which we all win together to make us stronger. And when it comes to community, it's everything. So Double X, if you guys know who that is, do some research on him. Shout out to him. He called me. I see him as like the guy who sees everything before it ever happens. So like he was a social media guy before social media was a thing. He got Will Smith, Paris Hilton, anybody you can really think of. He took their social media and he ran and he made a lot of money on that. He told me the next thing is tokenization. And he said, I'm the next thing in music. And he said, dude, you need to make sure that you're tokenized. I will help you. I will run it. So they created the tokenomics for me. Shout out to X Trends. We partnered with them, xtrends.fund. And they helped us create the tokenomics. We burned like 60% of the supply at launch. They've been running it for us, helping us run it. It is, owned by me and ran by me. So, you can rest assured that's what's going on. But we wanted to have the best people in the world to help us with the best tech who are actually real to help us go ahead and create something that can have longevity. And they're protecting us from snipers, et cetera, and making sure we have the backbone for having a really, community first driven utility token. Ziggy Coin's going to the moon right now. We are on the floor price now, but I think we're doing pretty well. We're just getting started. Everything's completely organic. We got great people that want to help us out. This amazing dude, man, Kid and Walt, they've been, I actually know you guys from before, but everybody in the crypto community was like, Ziggy, you got to get on this Spaces. It's like the best thing. These guys are killing it. I'm like, okay, sure, let me see what it looks like, and we can talk about it. Turns out we already know each other.
That's amazing.
So, small world, but
Yeah, man. No, that's incredible to hear your story from a couple years ago. And that's what it's about, never giving up. And that's what we love about what crypto and DeFi and it was, told us it was a scam, right? Not even
Right.
too long ago. And they just, a lot of things were just making it where it was at its worst. People were exploiting it, taking advantage of it. And now we're seeing people utilizing it to the highest form. And now we're watching businesses, institutions, corporations, mom and pop shops are now tokenizing themselves, rewrapping themselves. And now we're seeing the emergence of the golden age of TradFi going into digital,
That's exactly
and
right.
it's
And
happening.
I want to talk about that. The golden age, right? So you got the president, you got a lot of different people talking about the new golden age. The new golden age has a lot to do with prosperity, yes, but it also has to do with people coming together. And I think that that's what my purpose is here, is to create, you know, a space where people can come together. It doesn't matter right level. It's just good versus evil. There's a lot of weird stuff going on in the world, and I'll be the first to say, as a disclaimer, I ride with Jesus. Jesus is king, okay? And
Oh yeah.
my whole team, we're on the same type of time. So that's what we represent and what we want to push for. And with the new golden age, we're bringing the new golden age of entertainment. So when it comes to music, there is no more Elvis, James Brown, and all these kind of guys. People have been wondering, where's that at? Now it's just about, women and like wanting to be out in the streets. That's not good for the kids. We promote nuclear family. We promote togetherness. We want that, and that's why we went for the live experience, because the golden age has a lot to do with make people feel something through music, live music, and that's what we're on. And so community is extremely important when it comes to that, because it can't be about one dude and how cool they are. It needs to be about what that dude stands for and the community behind that movement. And talking about music and crypto and the new golden age, Ziggy Coin, we got some things rolling out for our holders. We got, for instance, for our holders, we're picking two of our holders, of our top holders. We're flying them out to the Cayman Islands to come in, all expense paid, to the Cayman Islands to come in,
Nice.
watch us perform, watch us headline the festival with Robin Thicke and Ti. They're going to be getting the VIP treatment and everything. They get to come to May 8th, the Moonlight Equity Ball. Some of them get to come because, again, it's about rising together. I want to introduce them to people that they might not have access to help them with their lives or their business, or even just make them feel good. And then when it comes to my music, when we finally release a song, which we will soon, we're talking to a few different powerhouses about how to go about that. But when we start releasing music, guess who's going to be earning a percentage of the royalties? Our holders. So, and what does that do? It's not like I'm just completely selfless, but I like to think that I am, and I think that that's how Jesus was, right? But I try to be like that, but it also helps me a lot too. It's an ecosystem. If they have stake in what we're doing, they're gonna go push it. They're gonna want to, and they do. The community pushes it. The Cayman Islands was incredibly impressed by our community, how they rated our Instagram, and they got like 900 followers in one post from us. Because our community is strong, because they have stake in wanting to see us win. They believe in what we stand for. But again, because we're together, I'll leave it at this. A wise man said, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And we're going together.
No, that was beautiful, bro. Good job on that one.
Thank you, bro.
But I love about this is what we're seeing now is people are now developing their brands and who they were, previous before this, prefaces of people going now into digital world. And now that's what makes it amazing is rewrapping your brands or your music business into blockchain. And now we can do like an alchemy of currency and build an ecosystem. And I love where your head's at, where you're explaining, saying, there's going to be different incentives for holding these coins and tokens. And this is kind of what like the TradFi did, but this is making it just in a new broader, where now people that weren't access to maybe IPOs or not access to front lines of knowing the news, now with
Right.
with DeFi and crypto, you do get that chance. And it gives this the little guy or a little person, right, or a little woman to actually make it.
Right.
And that's what it's about. And I definitely love how you're putting music and crypto all together. So, and then we saw some great names actually do that. And I think they actually feared for what he was doing, because he actually like blew up the spot, as they say. He sold like 1 million, I think, records and
It's funny.
NFTs
Let's
in like
talk
what,
about
an
it.
hour?
Shout out to Tory Lanez.
Oh,
He
there it
co-signed
is.
me too. We had a phone
There it
call
is.
actually, and I'll talk about it because that's my boy, man.
Yeah.
And he actually inspired one of my hits. Well, everyone thinks it's a hit. It hasn't been released yet, but the crowds love it. He inspired that song with the color violet. Tory Lanez, shout out to him. I had a phone call with him that we recorded on an interview, and he was just giving me my flowers. He said he was inspired by me, and he's one of my biggest inspirations. To see him going through what he's going through is insane. And that was 2 days before he got stabbed, almost to death in prison. But he's still alive and he's still strong. And when he gets out, and he will be getting out, he's going to be one of the biggest stars in the world.
No, definitely, and I'm glad you brought it up. I just so
And
I'm
that song was called, sorry to interrupt you, that
no,
song was called The Night. That's our song. And it was inspired by The Color Violet and Man Eater by Hall& Oates. And we did our own thing.
no, that's fine. I love the passion. I love the enthusiasm, and that's what it's about. And yeah, there was these popular cases that happen. Why we need to have a disruptive technology like DeFi to get people access and as well cut out some of these big companies that were, especially in the music world, where I mean the percentages were crazy. Like in the end, it don't matter. They were maybe
Yeah.
getting 10%, 7%, and then
Get eaten
after that,
alive.
after they even cut expenses in their business lives, it was like nothing.
They
So
get
yeah, they
nothing.
got the popularity, they got their song, but there was nothing to back it up. No,
Enslaved to
no
their own
funny, no
career. And
money.
that's a part of what we're about. For those of my followers and friends and supporters of the community that know me from day one, we've been talking about this 5 years ago. Ziggy Coin is just a dream, making it happen. We thought it was going to be NFTs or something, but we're doing it with Ziggy Coin, and it's about you know decentralizing your music as well. Again, you know what I'm saying? Giving the power back to the artist, but also empowering what most people forget about, which is the backbone of all music stars' career, the community.
Yes.
So, I'd like to say maybe we're trailblazers, but I think we're just trying to do the right thing. Maybe some of the people have done this before, but we represent the new golden age.
No, I
So,
love it. No, and unfortunately, that's a lot of people had to pay the way for us, right? And then thank God they let out Ross, and it was incredible speech. I watched it live. One of the most like amazing speeches ever, and watched it in Vegas, and of course, and to Tory Lanez too. I know there's a lot of conspiracies with that and all that. I don't want to go deep into that.
well, I know a lot of the inside.
But what is amazing is now it's actually happening now, and now we're in the front row seats of now all that happening, and the first of first people that are actually taking that initiative like yourself. And yes, you can apply all these amazing incentives and create an ecosystem, and also give back to what your community, your fans. And there's always ideas, right? You can have an NFT that can give a poster, a tangible, maybe record or tangible items that include it,
Vinyl
but
Records. That's what we're gonna come out with. Vinyl Records
vinyl
that
records.
through X Trends actually. Shout out to them again. We partnered with them. They're rolling out new features with their platform. They're rolling out NFTs. They're rolling out staking for us as well as futures trading, etc. With our with Ziggy Coin and their other projects that they host. And one of the things that we want to do is our NFTs are going to come in a physical form, but there's going to be a digital version too. But it's going to mainly be like a vinyl record of one of our tracks that comes with the
That's
digital
awesome.
NFT, that comes with opportunities that you get as a holder of that, and it also comes with a percentage of that song's royalties for life.
I love that. And you know what? And a lot of people were starting to think that we're going so digital that it's like, oh, we can't hold it in our hands or this. But in fact, now we're seeing, tangible items going up as well. But now we can tie that in both with DeFi, blockchain, and crypto. So now you can say, hey, you purchased my, of maybe, I don't know how many, albums you release, to the public so it can make it more scarce, more valuable. And as well, if they own that, they also get tangible items as well. And that can also go up in value. So we're seeing that right now with of course the from baseball, basketball cards like Michael Jordan, right? Or the top people like Tom Brady in football or Pokemon cards,
Right.
right? That is going up in assets. And of course, we still love our music albums or discs that were signed by the artist. And we've kind of forgotten that, but now that's adding that layer to security, knowing privacy as well, actual authentication of that product. So that's what's amazing, right? Like an artwork, right? Back then they didn't know if the artwork was real, but now we can tie in the NFT and the numbers and say, okay, you own that NFT. Now is that the actual painting? So I mean, it's the same thing what you're doing,
Yeah.
but to the next level.
It's cool. Funny story. Actually, 3 years ago when I had lost a bunch of money, all my money, everything, and I was like, I was a director at the time, and I was doing like shows and stuff, but they weren't my like I was just putting them together, and I was doing them for my friends because I always wanted to make music, but I was behind the camera, behind the scenes, and then I was like, okay, I wanna try it. So I hop on the track. My homie was like, bro, this is hard, and I was like, this is what I really want to do. Like, what? Then do it. Funny story is actually I thought that I was gonna take all the money that I was making and saving it, investing it, and I was gonna be able to, and I just got scammed and I lost everything, and then the job I had, everything, it just all came crumbling down, and I found myself homeless again. And at that moment, that was 3 years ago, and I just moved to Miami too. I'm couch surfing on everybody's couches, and I'm just like I don't know what to do. So I hadn't prayed in a long time, so I went and locked myself in a room and had a notebook, and I would write out what my dream life looked like. 5 years from that moment, 10 years from that moment. And I also prayed the first time in a long time. I was contemplating a lot of things. And I was like, God, what do I do? Like, please talk to me, tell me what to do. I don't know. You just lead. Nothing I'm doing is working out. And heard the voice tell me to use the gifts that I gave you. So I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna start singing. So I started singing at a little party. People loved it, put it on Instagram. People started liking that. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a show. I know how to put together a show. So I put together a little show. People were like, bro, no one's gonna come to your show. You don't have any music out. You gotta put music out. My own best friends are telling me this. I'm like, God told me something. I'm walking with that. I don't care what you're talking about. And I did. 100 people came to that first show. And it was a black tie show. And we just kept scaling it and scaling and scaling it. And it earned me a really crazy Rolodex. It also earned me a very unique story and unique approach to the music industry, as everybody wants to be on TikTok, put the music out, and I call it stream begging. It made us really make it about the real music, the real live performance. There are a lot of people that hit me up in the DMs a lot, and they're like, "Yo, Ziggy, why are you blue balling us? Put the music out!" And some people unfollow me because they're like, "You ain't dropping music." But there are others that really respect what we're doing and see us as a commodity because we're like exclusive. Like you can only come to the live shows and hear the music. It doesn't mean we're gonna stay that way forever. We just want to do this way because it was what was true to us as well. Because it's Ziggy and the Wolf Pack. That's my band. That's the powerhouse band powering
Ziggy
the
and
rise of the
Wolfpack.
golden age. Yeah, yeah. So that's our band.
What type of music?
Pop music. So
Okay.
people say the articles say it's a blend of James Brown, Elvis, and The Weeknd.
Do you play any instruments?
I play guitar.
So you play guitar? That's
I
mainly.
play guitar. I can play a little piano, but I don't. I just really try to focus on the vocals.
That's what's
So
up.
rock it out.
No, no, I love you telling the story, and that's what it is. Everybody has that come up story or that bottom out, and that kind of reflection to me. And I think a lot of the greats always either they hit it big one time and then they hit rock bottom, and then that's like where it's like where do I go from here? Or some people say they're in the bottom and they've like this is it. This is the only way up.
That's how it is. I don't care what you're doing. Music, you're starting a company, you're trying to find a good job. The thing about it is, when you pray and you ask God for something, He's going to give you the real deal. When He gave King Solomon everything that he got, Solomon didn't start that way. He will show you the vision, and you'll know it's from Him because you're like, wow, that's me. That's everything I want to do. But He won't show you the lion's pit. He won't show you the den. He won't show you the jail cell. Everything you have to go through to get there. But that's what it takes to get it for real. He's always going to be by your side, but you're going to have to go through a bunch of stuff to inherit that greatness from God. He's preparing you, and that's what I realized. And it's just the name of the game. If you want it for fake, it's like taking drugs. You're gonna get a temporary high, but the come down is gonna be so bad, and it's gonna be even worse. You got people that will sell their soul or sell out to go, create a music career or whatever it is that they want to do. And you know what? They end up extremely unhappy and empty and lonely. What's the point? You're gonna get it fake if you get it from anywhere else, but from God. You get it from God, it's gonna be for real. He's gonna take you through some stuff, to condition you to carry the weight of those blessings. But it's yours, and it's gonna be for real. And you're gonna be living in bliss. You know what I'm saying? Because you've earned that shit.
No, I feel that, man.
You know that's true.
Oh yeah,
You've been through it.
oh yeah. And there was only times where it was just me and that prayer and saying, okay, what was everything I liked about this? Crypto was unifying people. I saw the vision that we were gonna get what's happening now, executive orders, clarity acts, like we were gonna become a commodity, we are gonna be real. And here we are. So I'm glad that we got a little insight and why you tokenized yourself, why you're including music and DeFi together, and that's what Ziggy is all about, man. So I appreciate that as well.
Again, with the utility of Ziggy Coin, we've got a whole roadmap that we're happy to share. It's already out there, but we'll send it to you guys. But immediately, we're giving access, and it's not just for the biggest holders. We also have rewards in place for people that have just been holding for the longest time, because we want to give some opportunity to people that maybe don't have a lot of money. There's a kid in Africa that we saw that was holding some tokens, and so I want to reward people like him too. But we're gifting them access, or we're giving them access to some of these private events that we have, like Ziggy's Moonlight Equity Ball, where they get to be around a couple billionaires, some 100 millionaires, some people that are very, very powerful, who are on the same type of time we're on, because there's also some weirdos out there that you don't want to be around,
Oh, yeah.
And the hope is to align people to basically give them a little bit more, because for some people, they might have a lot of money, but they don't have access, or they might not have no money or access, and being in those rooms can inspire them to be, much bigger. Immediately, we're giving access, and it's not just for the biggest holders. We also have rewards in place for people that have just been holding for the longest time because we want to give some opportunity to people that maybe don't have a lot of money. There's a kid in Africa that we saw that was holding some tokens, and so I want to reward people like him too. But we're gifting them access, or we're giving them access to some of these private events that we have, like Ziggy's Moonlight Equity Ball, where they get to be around a couple billionaires, some 100 millionaires, some people that are very, very powerful, who are on the same type of time we're on, because there's also some weirdos up there that you don't want to be around.
Oh yeah.
And the hope is to align people to basically give them a little bit more, because for some people, they might have a lot of money, but they don't have access, or they might not have no money or access, and being in those rooms can inspire them to be, much bigger.
The way that we see this now is that people need to learn on this fast. Now we have passed the now the executive order was passed. Now we have the talks of the Clarity Act that's gonna be passed very soon. They say some say April, not, but people don't understand this is real, and we need to definitely captivate people's attention now,
Please, the future.
so they understand where look at the levels Bitcoin is. I mean, people don't understand. They're like, oh, I'm too late, it's too high. Bitcoin it has the limit to go as high as it wants to, but of course has to make sense. But now we're gonna see real estate coming in. We're gonna now with the commodity news coming in, trillions of dollars are coming in. They're gonna start coming in, right? Bitcoin is a digital gold, and it's gonna push the tide up for
That's right.
Ethereum, Solana. So starting projects like yourself now, at where Bitcoin or Solana is at these levels, imagine where your project can be in your community and what you're building in the next 5, 10 years, and think long term when Solana is at $1,000
Right.
or higher, because your token is pegged and it moves up as well. So this is a time to educate people on what blockchain is, what it's about, who created it and all that, and just really understand that this ecosystem goes more than just, buying and selling. There's a whole thing that you can build, and you're doing it with
And
magic.
that's what it showed me. I didn't know too much about it. I just got thrown into it. And then I realized, wow, this is really strong. This is a whole nother world that I didn't even know about. And there's people holding the coin that don't even know who I am.
Yeah, that'll be like that.
Yeah, it'll totally be like that. No, but there's people that don't know who I am, who are behind what we're doing now, who didn't know, and now we've been on calls and they've been able to see, do some research, and they're like, oh, this is awesome. I love to be a part of this. So it opened up a whole new world of people that genuinely want to support. And the thing about it is, when everybody's doing something, do the opposite. That's how you stand out, right? Well, it just so happens that we're entering on a perfect time because there's a lot of people not doing the right things for these projects, and we really have good intentions. We're really aiming for this thing to be lasting over 10 years, to be a real company, but it's the new age. It's the new age of a real Fortune 500 company, right? And we're building it that way with the right people. And because we're doing that, I think that, we've gained a lot of support at the bottom. We're still at the very beginning, and we're not huge yet, right? But to see the overwhelming support of people that really are riding for this and really want to see this thing go has been amazing. And that's just this stance to the type of people that are in this Web3 world.
Yeah, and it's amazing that you can help somebody that only maybe has $1 or $5 to invest anywhere around the world, right? And especially amazing the Nigerians in Africa. They're actually the country that is most adopting crypto and more,
So a lot of people in Nigeria
or places anywhere around the world, but mostly them where you see that crypto can change the economy and finances, and that's just an example of so many other places around the world that give someone that couldn't be able to get in the stock market or this now can get into crypto. All they need is an internet and a phone. Okay, and one more question before we close this out. If you lost everything all today, what would be the one coin that you would get in crypto?
I mean, if I didn't have Ziggy coin or anything like that.
Yeah, saying like if you're saying, that's it, like I lost it all, but I want to get into one coin and start it back again.
I think Solana. Uh, Bitcoin is like the gold standard, right? It's like it's going. But I think Solana just has a lot of potential to,
A lot of people love Solana. It's quick, fast, it's sexy, it's fun. It has the cool colors, green, purple,
Yeah.
like
soul.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's got soul.
It got soul, baby. No, and honestly, it was crazy because Solana kind of like took even our show in the ecosystem of meme coins and
Wow.
DeFi quickly, like in December of 23, and then January 24, pow. People were like, "Walt, you got to get Fana wallet. Here's some Solana. Here you go." And we just saw it take off. So I definitely have seen great projects. I was part of the biggest ones from GameStop to even other ones from Dog We've Had, or just amazing movements that were built on Solana. So I think you chose the right blockchain, especially that is cost effective. It's very accessible to a lot of people. and people can get into it with little fees and make good money on it as well, but also be part of something where you can create amazing tokenomics. And they recently just did amazing upgrades to make Solana to the highest level, and the huge news of them actually being tokenized with stocks. So talk about building empires. Now they're about to make stocks 24/7, and that's because of
crazy.
Solana. They're
That's
choosing
crazy.
Solana.
That's
So you're
crazy.
doing the right thing, man. So
Thank
guys,
you, bro.
check out Ziggy Coin, and where can people find your platform, your websites, your Twitters, your
So you
Instagram?
guys can go to xtrends.fun and you'll see ZGY. The ticker is ZGY coin, hashtag Ziggy. You can find me on Instagram, is where I do most of my stuff, at Ziggy.Ziegler. We obviously have an X account at Ziggy Coin, at ZGY Coin. My Instagram is ZIGGY.ZEIGLER. And we'll be performing at a stadium near you soon. So
Let's go, guys. Well, check out Ziggy Coin on Solana, and he's building an empire, man. Definitely, it's amazing to get that first
Thank you,
one-on-one
brother.
before you guys do amazing things,
Thank
and
you.
that's what we do here at DeFi Media. Thank you guys again, and follow us at DeFi Media 1 on Instagram and on X. Let's go, baby.
To the moon. Always on my mind, always.